Hello, hello, hello. Welcome,
Hello.
welcome, welcome. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. Today is Sunday, January 18th, 2026. Thank you so much for coming in and joining us. You do not want to miss this episode. Please come in and share because sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. Ain't that right, Plum?
Show is. So
Sharing.
disclaimer, I may be on and off mute, but you guys know why. You guys know.
Yes, we will know why. We would know why.
Yes.
Absolutely.
How are you doing this Sunday?
Oh, I'm doing good. Thank you. I'm doing good. Thank you. I'm not even going to begin to complain. I'm just going to be thanking God for allowing us to see another day. Sharing is caring. Don't forget, sharing is caring. I do want to, I'm so excited about this episode. I'm so excited about this episode. Are you excited, Shakira?
I'm so excited. I'm pumped.
You pumped. You pumped. I am too. What I want to do right now is share this live to our viewers and letting them know to please come on in and join us as we move forward into our podcast. We're only going to be here for 1 hour. We're only going to be here 1 hour. For those of you, please feel free to make any comments, suggestions in the section. We will read them off periodically. But I'm going to start off, Shakira. Um, I can't even say enough about this young lady. Dena McMillon-Billups. Let me just say this. This young lady, I've been knowing myself personally for over 30, can you believe 30 years?
Wow.
Over 30 years. Over 30 years. When I met her, she was a single mom and I was a single mom. Single mom. We met at a private school, actually, one of the private schools in New Jersey. Where my daughter was attending, and I think DeYonna was attending as well.
Yes, yes. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so that girl,
I forgot about that.
Go, right? That was
Oh,
little
wow.
skirt. And not only that, but when I met Dena, she was a single mom, raising her daughter, trying to figure it out, and just determined, just the aspirations and the motivation that this young lady had within herself. And she was trying to figure out how I'm going to continue my education. She had dreams of a nonprofit organization at the time. And we would stay in my office to the middle of the night. I mean, 3 and 4 hours, really, literally, probably longer than that, just chatting away about how we can put things together to move forward. But this young lady, she figured out how she can attend and get her bachelor's degree and her master's degree within a few years of each other. And not only that, after she did that, she was able to start training New Jersey state employees. And I think that might have been a part of DIFIS at the time, if I'm not mistaken. And then she went on to start that nonprofit organization. So this young lady really showed us the pathway of what determination looks like, what it means to not allow someone to set the pace for you, but to have your own motivation within yourself. So I want to say, welcome, Dena McMillon-Billups, to the show. I know that was a long.
So excited.
That long introduction, but let me just say this, Shakira. You want to say a little something about her beautiful?
Now you got me on the spot. Now I could completely forgot about Christ Temple.
See?
About how far back we go.
Yeah.
What can I say about her?
How old were you, ladies? Y'all was like
I was in fourth grade.
You was
fourth grade.
Wait, I'm that much more older?
How old are you?
38.
Yeah, girl, you older than me.
I was in the 7th grade. And when I met her, she was just, her smile is contagious. You can't be around her and not be happy. Everything about her is just positive. She's very inspirational. She's about her business. She stands on what she's grounded in as far as how she was brought up. And we had our one-on-one talks and stuff like that about things that you were rooted in. And I love how on fire you are for your passion. It means a lot when you have somebody that is about Black women to the
Yes.
fullest extent. Oh God, Jesus! To the full, they're fine. They're coming off of the flu. They're fine, everybody. But the things that you have done and the amount that you have done it and the age that you are, it speaks volumes.
Yes.
It speaks volumes. So without further ado, I call her D, but her name is pronounced DeYonna, right?
Yes.
D.
Yes. Yes.
In the
Yes.
house.
Woo! Yes.
There we go.
One of the things I love about DeYonna is a makeup artist. I mean, she do flawless makeup. Okay?
She did my makeup before, yes.
Huh?
Yes.
I did. Oh my
She
God.
did my makeup, my eyebrows.
I forgot.
Yes.
I thought I remember everything.
Yes.
Oh no, we got you, honey. We remember.
You're getting old, DeYonna. You're getting old. Not us. You're getting old.
We remember. We absolutely remember. And not just that, but DeYonna, she has a path and she's driven and determined. She's determined just like her mom. But I know that just like me and my daughter, you have your own thinking cap. You have your own way of doing things. You have your own personality. And we're going to dive into some of that this evening. We are really going to dive into some of this evening, but we want to tell you both welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so happy to have you here with us, breaking bread with us this evening as we share your journey with our viewers in hopes to give them some perspective of allowing them to know that no matter what situation that you're in, no matter what circumstance that you may be up against, you too can come out on top. You too can come out on top. So as we continue to move forward, I just want to say thank you so much for being here. And also, I did share the live. I'm hoping that you all were able to share it with your viewers. If anyone is not able to communicate, see your notes in the chat, you always are welcome to come over to Momma Said It Podcast. But DeYonna and her mom, Dena, they're both going to be checking the messages. So if they see your message on their page, they're more than free to read the comments out loud so that everyone will have an opportunity to interact with each other. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to get this party started. And I just want to say, I thought I was going to get a little song out of DeYonna. But she is getting over the flu, right, DeYonna?
I don't know what that was, but it wasn't the Lord.
No. It wasn't the Lord.
And it's going around to everybody.
I'm just glad to be here today.
Yes.
I'm glad you are here as well. And I'm trying to figure out why is okay, let me just get something straight here because it seems like my mouse is not allowing me to move this up. And I'm trying to move this up. So please bear with me. See, the devil is a liar. He's just trying to interrupt this podcast, but we don't care. No matter what happens, we're going to move forward in spite of. And I don't know whether it's because of what's going on in the world across the universe, whether this technology, because we just had the blackout with Verizon not too long ago, where a lot of people weren't able to use their cell phone. I don't know whether anyone is having issues with their internet or not. But whatever the case may be, we're going to continue to move forward. Now, what I want to do is I want to kind of ask some questions, and we're going to go all the way back, Dena, to your teenage years. We're going to go all the way back to your teenage years. And my first question is, Dena, take us back to the moment as a teenager when you realized you were pregnant. And what was it like having to tell your parents for the very first time? And how did their response shape the woman you would become?
Woo, that's funny. And this is funny because DeYonna and I used to have her watch this movie called Riding in Cars with Boys. I don't know if y'all ever saw that movie, but I
didn't see that one.
I swear it was like a script out of my own life. And the thing was, I was so scared, and I was probably scared to tell my dad. and then my mom that I was,
Wow.
and I was 19. I was out of high school. I was, in college, and I was going to Mercer County as a art student, and I carried my art supplies all the way until I was 8 months pregnant. But before that, yeah, I was walking through this streets of Trenton, downtown Trenton, Mercer County College, drawing downtown. And but before that, having to tell my mom and dad, I wrote my mom a note.
Did you
A
really?
note.
Wrote her a note. I was so afraid, and I wrote her a note and I threw it down the steps.
Did
And
you
yeah,
threw it down the steps?
I crumbled it up. Yeah, this is how immature I was. And I crumbled it up, and she opened it up. And I thought she would be easy, and I thought she would open it up and like feel sorry for me. And she was like, "What is this? What is this?" And I was like, and then I just started crying. And then one of my
Oh,
um, sister Rena Belly and Kia came to pick me up, and I was like, they were like, I said, somebody pick me up, and they picked me up, and I was like, I'm pregnant, and then my friend was like, she's my god sister, and she's like, well, I'm pregnant too, so it was good to have somebody. And we're still friends and love each other today.
Wow.
Um,
wow.
I told my dad, who I thought was going to be the hardest one,
Mm-hmm.
and I waited 2 weeks later to tell my dad. And I didn't tell him, my mom did. And then he opened up the door and he said, "What's this I hear? You're pregnant, you're having a baby." And I was so scared. I still remember what the room looked like. I remember everything. And then he just stopped, he looked, and he said, being a mom is a hard job, but you're going to be a good mom.
Oh, wow. I know that meant everything.
So after that, no, I didn't care about what people thought. I had no
Right. It was
feeling.
like, yes.
My daddy said I'm gonna be a good mom, and I think my mom was a little worried about what the church might think. So it was like she had her own fears. But then after a while, this little woman that you see here came into my life.
Wow, that is awesome. So, that support that you get from your parents when you break the news to them really
Mhm.
makes a difference.
Absolutely.
It really makes a difference. That is so wonderful to hear. And I know your parents, your dad, your mom, beautiful people. You come from a great foundation, and having that good support system really makes a difference. I'm glad to hear that.
Mhm.
Now, DeYonna, I have a question for you. Growing up as a child, what did you observe about your mother's sacrifices and determination that you may not have fully understood then, but deeply appreciate now?
I love that. My mom, I never knew if we were at any point, I never knew we were struggling. Now I know like the times that were hard, but I
Right.
never like if something was wrong, like I never knew. And I think I think what happens is, and I joke around with my mom and I say things like, "Girl, I raised you well." Or I'll be like, "We grew up together."
Right. Yes.
but and she don't like that because she want to make sure that I know she's a mom. But the thing is, it was always fun with my mom, and it was always light, and it was always free, and it was always, I think I remember like two instances where my mom, I think our lights were off, like our lights got turned off. And I thought like my mom just wanted like a candlelit house, like things like that. And she would just make the environment calm and maybe like paint nails or listen to like, I don't know, something in the headphones. And so every like moment that was hard for my mom looking back, I never knew that it was hard. Um,
Wow. She made it easy for you.
Oh yeah, like I didn't know if my mom, like even the way we ate, like no shade to Kool-Aid, but like I never had Kool-Aid or like bad meals or anything. My mom like really there. She was very creative, and then she never let me see her struggle. Looking back
Wow.
now as a mom, um Our house was always nice, like our small apartments, but you know, it always smelled good. It was always a good vibe. The decor was always nice, and we it may not have looked the way it looked inside outside. You know, when you step out, we on Riverside Ave in Trenton, but
Right.
it was still like my mom made every situation, rather good or bad, just feel really light.
I like that. I love that.
Yeah, me too.
Setting a tone and making sure that you were safe was seemed like it was very important. I know that was very important to your mother. My our next question is, Dena, society often tells teenage mothers, you ruined your life. What made you decide not to internalize that message and instead turn what others saw as a setback into a source of power and purpose?
Hmm. That's a good question. I think I'm just always that kind of person. If you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to prove you wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And
I like
so
that.
it was interesting because I remember like even I probably when I had DeYonna, I had her like 2 weeks before my 20th birthday, and I remember like having her wherever I went. I was like this mobile mom. Wherever I went, I just took her. So I remember running into a family member saying, and he said he was like we called our cousin's uncle, and he said, and I was happy to see him, and I just told somebody this story, and I remember him saying like, oh, babies having babies, and I remember how like
Mhm.
a label that was probably put on me, and it was like I was going to prove him wrong. I was going to prove that I wasn't just a mother just having a baby or just another statistic. I still felt like I had dreams, and remember I just said like my dad, once I told my dad that I was pregnant and he said I was going to be a good mom. So you have to know like what voice you're going to listen to, and I think
Yes.
it was like once my dad said it, it's just like the Heavenly Father. Like if you hear the voice of your father tell you your identity, then nothing else matters. Like you don't have to listen to what society says or the trajectory that's going to give you the trajectory of your life. So I knew from a very early on, like I was going to be 8 months pregnant with my art supplies at Mercer County College, and I would continue. I didn't know how, but I was going to figure it out.
Right. You was gonna figure it out.
And
Wow.
figure it
I
out.
love that. Being determined. Being determined. I love that.
Yes.
Now, DeYonna, a question for you. You chose a path rooted in maternal health, infectious disease, HIV prevention, and doula work. When did you realize this wasn't just a career, but a calling connected to your live experiences?
I always told my mom, I was like, I would never do what you do.
Says
I'm
it
like, I'm
Wait
not
a minute. Okay,
helping.
wait. Ooh, that sounds familiar.
Oh Lord, that sounds so familiar.
That sounds
wait,
familiar.
Regina, Mama said it.
I'm trying to tell you. Okay,
I've been
DeYonna.
there. I ain't never doing that.
Oh my.
No, thank
So
you at all.
yes, she used to tell me that all the time. So DeYonna, what was the moment that you felt that you did not want to do what your mother did?
I always saw my mom helping people, and um, I felt like she seemed like that's all she was doing. Like at one point, I always saw my mom helping people, and it's like I didn't see her like enjoying herself or enjoying like I think it was just like a period of time where I peeped, like everybody was pulling on my mom, and it whether it be
Wow.
in her career or my family or like I just felt like she always got pulled on, and I know it was a part of like her career and like her calling, right? Like that was also her career. And then I was like, I'm not going to be helping moms. I couldn't help no mom and the babies. And I'm like, the babies be crying and stuff. I'm never doing what you do.
Oh my goodness. So real. So real.
I'm like, that's getting into people's business. I don't care. I don't want to deal with that kind of stuff. It's drama.
Oh my goodness. That's
And here I am. So I kind of
wow.
knew like I think like when you fight something, or when something is a fight with you, like that is a positive thing. Is 9 times out of 10 like what you're supposed to be doing.
It's supposed to be doing. Wow. So how many years went by before you realized, wow, mom, do you need any assistance?
My mom always, oh, my daughter is like this, and she's only 2. She thinks that she's our girlfriend. Like she thinks that she is me and my mom's girl.
Oh, she
So
thinks she's your
yes,
really?
yes.
Wow.
So I was like that as a kid, like, because my mom was young, so like, and she was fly, she could dress, she was like that girl. So everything my mom did, I was with her, and I thought it was cool. Like I would imitate my mom, even like the makeup stuff. I was going around selling Mary Kay with my mom, putting makeup on people in the back of their hands behind my mom. Like I was doing everything my mom was doing anyway, even when she was picking up girls and helping them with their kids or cases or whatever it was. I was with her. I was with my mom. So I may not, I may have thought I didn't want to do it, but it came naturally because that's what I was doing. So it wasn't, I don't see a gap. I feel like I've been doing it because I've been with my
Wow.
mom. So there's no gap for me.
That's all right. I love that. There's no gap.
Mm.
You know what? When we talk about knowing something, and realizing in your life, because I know for me and my daughter see me work day and night, 16-hour days. And people be like, 16-hour days? How did you do it? I would work 16-hour days. Some days I would work 3 days in a row straight without a break. I mean, literally. I mean, I don't even know how I do it myself, even right now today. But my daughter witnesses, and now my daughter is like, "Look, I got to get my 12 hours of sleep.
I'm
I'm
going to bed. I can't talk. My hours are between this hour and this hour, and I'm not answering no emails. I'm not doing none of that.
Not like
I'm
me.
training the
That sounds
people
like
how
DeYonna.
no
yeah."
ma'am,
And
we're not
I'm
doing that.
totally
So yeah.
the opposite. But I know I see that it could definitely be a downfall when you don't have boundaries and you don't have, that separation between personal and business. And I hate that I'm taking advantage of it now at such a later age. I wish I would have did it a lot sooner. But when you are in a mode where you don't want to fail, you don't want to be broke, you don't want to be homeless, you're constantly fighting that mode to be as far away from that as possible. So that may had some, a
Well,
reason why things turned out the way it did.
well, I do tell you all the time, Ma, that your sacrifice set me up to be the person that I'm able to be now. If you didn't do what you did, then you wouldn't be as far in your career as you like. I'm picking up the baton off of what you already did. So I understand your sacrifice now that I'm a mom and I see it. I know I'm not going to be on the phone with somebody at 3 a.m, but but
Like,
I know that you did those things to be able to get to where you are, and I appreciate it. And I see when you're younger, you don't get it. When you get older, especially when you have kids, you get it. You understand. And if you didn't do those things, I wouldn't be able to live the life that I continue to be able to go do taxes and do other things and stuff like that because of the sacrifice that you did and that you continue to do. So I appreciate everything you do. I really
thank
do.
you. I appreciate it.
I
Thank
love
you. I
that.
appreciate that.
Can I add to um
Yes.
I talk about like generational like differences. And a lot of times we talk about like generational curses but just the boundaries, like just seeing it between the different generations. Um a lot of times, especially single moms, they operate off of survival mode. So that's why I wasn't my a lot of the things that my mom was like helping everybody and all the time, like really just like locked in. Honestly, it was so that I didn't have to be piggybacking off of what you were saying. And I think
Mhm.
I have like these strong boundaries. Like I remember when I first got married, he said that I should have boundaries tattooed on my head because I was just like, no nonsense. And that's because of what I learned from my mom and what survival mode looks like. The person who's in survival mode cannot see themselves, but the daughter, the next generation can see that. And so
Right.
as us having to see that, it created us to like a fork in the road. We had to make a decision. Do I want to take this path or do I want to go this way? And I thank God for the way I have chosen to look at what survival mode looks like, because now I believe that I choose to live a softer life, and whatever that looks like. I'm a single mom now, so I some things I do be in survival mode, but for the most part I think I'm a softer generation. And then God, I'm claiming it that my daughter will live a very soft life.
Yes.
So just to piggyback off of what you're saying, just watching that survival mode really it plays a big impact on how the next generation decides to live their life.
I truly agree with you on that. I truly
Absolutely.
agree. Yeah, we tend to, parents have to make sure they be very very conscious of their children watching them when they curse, when they smoke cigarette, when they do anything that your kids is watching.
They're watching
They may not
everything.
implement what you're doing in front of you, but they may go to school to the teacher.
Yes.
And you know what I mean? And that's when it becomes a little, could be embarrassing or it could be a compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's there are things that I look back and I say, maybe I would have done some things differently, or but then I can also be honest and say there's some things I've learned from watching DeYonna now as a parent, and I'm like, it's almost three dimensional, like 3D, and I was like, this is the time where I get to see some of the things, but it is in your DNA. At that time, you're doing the best that you can. You're making the best choices you know how, because you want them to be able to have, if using her words, a softer life.
Right. Yeah.
But it's just like, I'm sure the generation before me actually felt the same way. I remember my grandmother saying, like, when you work, make sure you buy yourself something. Don't spend it all on everybody. So their wisdom that I think we pass down to the next generation.
Absolutely.
I agree. I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
Dena, I have a question about sacrifice, survival, and strength. You were working full time, as I stated before, traveling to college and raising a child as a single mother. What were the hardest moments no one saw, and what kept you pushing forward when quitting probably looked easier?
It's a good question. I think one, I want to say, I mean, I know the easiest thing is probably to say, like, it was God, but it was, right? Because there were plenty of reasons to give up. But I see an option outside of moving forward and operating as my best self, and really wanting to, like as a single parent, you don't know if you're going to get married, right? And even if you get married, you don't know if that's the answer, right? You don't know what's going to happen. You're a single parent. All you know is that you have to take care of yourself and this being that is assigned to you, this child. So you don't know. And so for me, there was no plan B. There was only a plan A. And so
Oh,
quitting
there
just
was no plan B. Wow.
plan B. There was no plan B at all. It
Wow.
was, I knew that I wanted to make a certain amount of money. I knew I needed to do that. Rather, I was married.
That's crazy to me.
I knew that going to college, getting my, people were like, I remember when I chose the college I chose was because I could take 5 classes in a week. I could take 5 classes on Saturday. I could be done in 2 years. I had a plan, and it seemed like a lot when people were like, "You doing too much." I was working full time.
Working, yep.
I was going to college full time. And I probably had more than one job. I probably had like 3 jobs.
Yeah, because you was working at the school.
Yeah, I was working. I worked a lot of places. I was a teacher at Mercer County College. I was a teacher on Saturdays. I went to school on Saturdays. So I was doing all of that because the end goal was I was trying to set myself up where I didn't have to do it anymore. And that was for, you know, if you're going to meet somebody or not. Like that may not be the situation. That wasn't happening. That wasn't happening well for me. So I know I needed to set myself up, and I wanted to be an example for DeYonna. But the thing in doing that, sometimes I feel like I failed, and this is the only time the part that feels like I failed, because I was hustling so much that I taught her how to be motivated. I taught her how to strive. I taught her how to fight, but I didn't teach her how to rest.
Wow.
No, you did not.
And so because I had this goal, so I didn't feel like I was teaching her how to rest. And so she didn't learn how to rest from me, and like you,
Second that.
yeah, like you, Regina, it's like you got these plans. So she didn't know how to rest. That wasn't a part of my goal. Was rest wasn't a part of it. It was like, I got this to do, I got that to do, and this to happen. And so she learned how to be motivated. And so to see her rest and have these moments of rest, I feel like she's teaching me that in this season.
Wow, I like that. I like that. And see, like you already had a forecast in mind, a goal in mind that you wanted to plan. And I think that's what some of us don't do. We don't sit down and we don't plan what you want your life to look like in the next 3 to 5 years. And I remember when we sat in the office late at night, many nights, we both were single. We was like, where we go get our man? We both, I said, well, if you find one, make sure, see if he have a brother, and I find one, see if he have a brother.
The problem is I was stuck in the office with y'all.
Yes.
Oh, right. That's so
Sleep
true.
on the couch, waking up and they still talking.
Oh my gosh, yes, y'all both were. Oh my gosh, that's so
yes, and that was well before your knight in shining armor, Boaz, Jason came to the rescue. And when you told me, I got one, I got him, I was like, what? Oh, girl, I was so happy. I was so happy.
But I was terrified. I was terrified.
Really? You was terrified?
Of course. You have to understand, when you're used to, like, I knew that I could do it myself, right? In my mind, with the Lord's help, that it was me and God, right? So if things didn't work out, that was my fault. Or I had to look at me, right? There's nobody else. But be able to now, I wasn't used to bringing people in my bubble. That was my bubble. Even when I started dating, it was like, I'm going to date you outside of my bubble on a weekend. But to bring you in my bubble during the week when it's hustle time, so to really be able to get in my bubble, you had to be something special.
Yes.
I was terrified because he put his money where his mouth was. And I was like, I was used to people messing up.
Oh, was that it?
Yeah, I was like, so I could predict when somebody was like, all right, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but blah, 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 blah. But to really be able to say, oh, this is who I am, this is my identity, and this is what I want, I was ready to run.
Oh my God, you was ready to take off.
I was ready to take off.
Do you think it was because you were single for so long prior to?
I tell people all the time, I was single longer than I've been married. So being a single woman, and it's like, it was about control. So now I had to be able to let go of that control and share my life with somebody, and I could control the things around me, but being able to let somebody in and being able to truly trust them, that was a
different story.
That was a whole different, that was some breaking ground there.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely relate. I can relate to that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have a question for uh, DeYonna, and this is being a daughter of purpose. What was it like emotionally and mentally being raised by a woman who refuse excuses and procrastinations or blame? And how did that shape your discipline and compassion and advocacy today?
Um, I'm laughing because I have a little brother, but he came when I was 24 and
Whoa.
disrupted my whole vibe I had going on. But he's my best friend, so I hope he
Oh,
didn't.
that's so special.
That's my little bestie when we're not fighting. But so being an only child is tough because, especially I think an only child of a single mom, because you get everything, and the good, the bad, the ugly, the you get the and I've had these conversations with my mom already, and I think it's comes from personality too. My Nana, my mom's mom, that's Nana, and my dad's mom and my mom, I've always felt like they are very critical people. Like just very
Mm.
critical. Like when I go to my mom's house, like I make sure that like I look like something. Because if not, if especially if my nana's there, like I'll walk in and they'll be like, "What is wrong with your hair?" Or you okay? Like I remember I went to church one time and my nana came up to me and she walked me to the back of the church and she handed me her key and she said, "Go to my house and go iron your skirt."
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So
Was it one of them skirts that is naturally wrinkled, or
honestly, Miss Regina, I don't be ironing my clothes.
oh, was that what it was? I thought it was one of them, them outfits that you
No,
wear
My
that.
mom don't play about the wrinkles.
no, and I hate ironing, but I'm saying that to say, I'm the oldest grandchild on both sides. I was the only child for a long time, so everything is just like me, and
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
good. It's been good. I think I'm like spoiled in a way, but also like very like I grew up no nonsense. Like my mom, like going to college wasn't an option. Like those type of thing, or like
Mm.
if I was said I wanted to do a business, like my mom was just like on me investing in my business or the whole. It was non-negotiable to finish what you start. It wasn't like that was a big thing in our house. Like if you started it, you have to finish.
You have to
Um,
finish. I like
even like
that.
my grades, like it would just be like very long talks if I messed up, and I'd be like, "Lord Jesus, I wake up with like oil on my head the next morning. Like I'm like,
Sounds familiar.
girl, I just gotta see, relax.
Them
um,
praying times, them praying grandmothers.
yeah. So I think though that has really shaped my discipline. I joke around. I said my mom is very type B, and I appreciate that because I'm very type A. But her discipline and expectations of me have shaped me in making sure I always finish what I start, making sure that everything that I do it in excellence, making
Nice.
sure that you know
I like
that
that.
I respect people. Um, I'm a little bit more a little bullheaded than my mom, but I think like at the end of the day, my principles and the way I love people are very modeled from my mom. So just like the way I carry myself, what I'm wearing, that like what I said, what I look like, how I speak, all of those things have really inherent like no nonsense.
Right.
And refusing excuses. Like my mom did not do excuses, and that really shaped the way I'm not perfect, but it really shaped the standard that I hold myself to.
I like that. I like that. No excuses, no uh, procrastination. Just do
Hmm.
it.
Yeah.
That's Dena.
Mhm.
Just
Mhm.
that's Dena. Now, Dena, I have a question for you, and this is going talking about your nonprofit a little bit and butterflies. You actually describe your journey as watching butterflies blossom from another life entirely. Now, when we talk about butterflies, we talk about the egg and then the caterpillar, and then it grows and blossoms into this beautiful butterfly. How did you mentally and spiritually release the labels placed on you and embrace the life you knew was possible?
I've been saying this a lot this week, but like whenever you're trying to change something, change is a process. Change doesn't happen overnight, and I understand that. And so, who I am yesterday is not the same person I am today. And
Mm,
one of the things is like I've always been a person of vision. You know, I've always had vision, maybe not so certain how to get there, but I've had vision, and I had a good foundation too. And I remember even at my church, I grew up in St. Paul years ago, I had a lot of people around that I could look up to as well, like these men and women that no one's perfect. You see the good, bad, ugly, and different, but
yeah.
there were people that like showed us things. So I remember doing like spoken word at Princeton University when I was a teenager. You know, doing it was a thing called Afra with my Sunday school teacher, Mr. Jenkins, taking us there. I remember a lady. Everybody has to have a Miss Franklin. So growing up in church, where these people showed me some other ways and avenues, but I got to experience those ways and avenues. I was a Delta teen when I was a little girl, so you know I got to see a lot of. And my best friend's mom was an AKA, so
Mm,
she took us to college tours. So I was exposed to a lot of things and a lot of things around me, which made me hungry. It made me hunger for, it made me hunger for more. I didn't want to like settle for less than what I thought I deserved, right?
yes, I love that.
And so, with that being said, even becoming might sound funny, but even becoming a teen mom, like I was dating, and I wanted to date the DJ, at the time. I didn't want to date the person that was just dancing. I wanted to date the DJ, because I wanted.
DJ, my dad, by the
Hey,
way. That's
Mr. DJ.
Yeah, that was her dad. Yeah, hey, Mr. DJ. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like at that time in my small mind, I had a vision. Like I was like, that was cool. He was creative. I wanted to date the DJ, and out of that, DeYonna came about. But even then, I remember telling the DJ, her dad, like, I want to go to college. So, having that vision, wanting to go before she was born, I had plans. I was supposed to go to Delaware State. I was supposed to I was packed. I bought all my stuff for school. I worked at Department of Transportation the entire summer, bought my luggage, bought everything. So I think who you are, is who you are. I'll say this last thing. I was telling a young mom one time who
Hmm.
said when I first got my first apartment, it was a little apartment and it was an efficiency. And in that apartment, I made it like I painted the cabinets. I made it look like it was the house that I live in now. So
Wow,
when she
nice.
saw my house, she was like, "Well, you have all this," and I was like, "No, I had all that back then. I had that all
Mm,
that. I had what I have now. I had that back then. I had that when I was a single mom because I
wow.
had it inside of me. I just
Hmm.
didn't have the opportunity to allow it to be." And
Right.
so, I always say, in him I move, I live, move, and have my being. That was inside of me back then. I just
Wow.
needed opportunity. And so, how I got there and how I got there, how I got here is just knowing that it was everything that's great in me now, it was great in me back then.
Wow, that's powerful. So it's like you know you have it in you. It's just waiting to exhale, waiting to come out, waiting to have that debut moment. I love
Yeah,
that.
it's like I tell, I name my company Art of Training and Development because art stands for activate right thinking. And so what I needed was the opportunity to activate right thinking. And I needed people around me to encourage me, to tell me that I could do it, and I could be. And so having those opportunities, and that's why I loved working with young moms, because I wanted them to know they weren't going to be just their circumstance.
Right. Yeah. I love
Hmm.
that. I love that.
Yeah.
Before we move forward, I want to acknowledge some of our comments.
Hmm.
Shakira, if you be so kind, if you can, to read some of our comments, and thank you all so much for joining in. Hey, Linda,
Yes. Hey,
shout
Miss
out to
Linda.
Linda. How are you
Oh my
doing?
gosh. Hey, Miss Linda.
Linda's in the hospital, but we rooting for her.
Feel
I
Yes.
better.
hope you're feeling better, Linda.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, we have.
Thank thank you for joining, Miss Karen Williams. What's great in me now was great in me back then.
Wow,
Absolutely, I love that.
I love that.
Um, Miss Miss Barbara Bryan, love you. She said those late nights at Dr. Regina Tack's office where Shakira became a free therapy session. Those late night conversations between the patient at Dr. Regina's office became my once a year therapy free sessions.
Look,
Um,
Right,
hi.
you're
That's,
right.
that's my auntie right there.
yeah.
Yes, that's my
Auntie.
girl. Yes, yes.
Her.
Shakira, I want to go back up because we don't want to miss anyone. Like
Okay.
Dee had joined us as well. So hello,
Hey
Dee.
D, how are you? Let me see.
Yes,
Let me go bring that
Dorothy, thanks
up.
so much for joining, sis.
Hey Aunt Dot. Miss Barbara said, I am so excited for tonight. I met her mom. So that's Grandma Rita, Miss Rita, in 1984.
Woo!
We worked together in Trenton and became my family. I'm looking at 4 amazing women tonight.
Wow, 1984. Woo!
Hey, Aunt
Wow,
Barbara.
y'all go way, way back.
Way back. Bianca Nicole, thank you for joining. She said, read my comment right quick before it gets busy.
Because you know what? Because we're joking here because a lot of people think I have a hard time being serious. So that's her and some background stuff.
Got
Okay,
you.
so what comment did she want us to read real quick?
I didn't see it though. I didn't see it, but we're gonna skip because I don't know what it could be.
We're curious.
We
We
are.
If
curious,
I find it,
Bianca.
let me look. I got it here too.
Okay, she's gonna read it. She's gonna read it to us.
Thank you
Shante,
for
thanks
joining us,
for joining.
Shantae. Christina says exactly. God had another plan.
That's my friend. Hey, Christina.
Another plan.
Let's see. Miss Brenda Johnson, thank you for joining. She said, love that. Karen said, hashtag rest.
Yes.
Hashtag rest. Okay.
Yes, yes. I love
Um,
that. I love
thank
that.
you for joining us, Miss Glenda. Women all around. Yes, love that.
Love
Hey,
it. Love
Glenda.
it.
Love it.
Miss Rosalind, she said that
Hey,
is so
cuz.
true. I'm learning that from my daughter.
Mm.
Yes,
Yes.
what Miss Dena said. Miss Barbara says, oh, I already read that one because those are the ones I read before.
Oh,
Okay.
you read that one? Okay.
Yeah. And Miss Josie, thank you for tuning in. The Mother Daughter Dream Team. Thank
Hey,
you.
Joey.
Hi,
Oh,
Joey.
that's
We love
nice.
you, Joey.
Welcome in. Welcome in. That's
Welcome in.
everybody.
Welcome in. Thank y'all so much for joining us. And please feel free to make your comments. You know, what I want to ask a question before DeYonna, get prepared because I have a question for you coming up next. But what I want to ask you ladies, and I also want to ask our supporters, our viewers, and our co-hosts, what would you say to your younger self in one sentence? What would you say to your younger self in one sentence? Let's start with you, DeYonna.
I think it would be you're safe and you're doing good.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, I like that. All right. Dena, what would you say to your younger self?
I would tell my younger self that she already made it.
What? Wait, she already made it?
Mm-hmm. I would tell my younger self that she was already successful, because that would take her out of survival mode, because she would see the end from she would see the end from the beginning.
I love that. So,
Mm-hmm.
another, don't worry.
Yes.
That's
I, that would take away anxiety. That would have given her rest, and I would have told her she's already successful. She's loved. She's enough. Oh, you said one sentence. See, I had a whole lot to say to her.
go on add to it. That's all right.
And just to expand on mine, I think watching my mom always in survival mode, I never felt unsafe, but I always felt like I had to just make sure that I used to try to like fight for my mom. Like if a neighbor was picking at my mom, I remember one time I came out and was like, "What's up?" to this grown lady. So just like
Protective mode.
And I didn't like that. I didn't like when she did that, because for me, I needed her to be a kid. And so, I needed her to know that I was taking care of things. And
so that's where you're safe, everything is okay.
Mhm.
Like you don't have to protect your mom.
Right.
And a lot of people around me have always told me that I'm doing well, but for some reason, just the need to do more, do more, do more, do more, do more.
Mhm.
So just telling myself, like after a while, I'm like, oh, who are you doing this for? Like all the things that you're doing, who are you doing it for?
Right.
So you're doing good. Those are the things I tell myself now today. Like you're doing a good job.
You're doing
We're
a good
safe.
job.
Everything is fine.
I like that. I like that. I like that. So, Plum, if you could speak to your younger self in one sentence, what would you say?
I would say the thing that you don't like about yourself, God is going to use that to magnify him. I do not like my voice. Me and my mom talk about this all the time. I do.
Yeah.
My mom will listen to this after we get done, y'all. She's going to listen to the podcast about 15 times. I don't like my voice. I've always had a problem with that, but I do a live every morning, and I talk about the goodness of God. And I have so many people that get on there and we talk, and and God is using what I don't like to magnify who he is. So
Yeah.
that's what I would say to my younger self. And you're going to have a lot of stuff ahead. You're going to have lots of operations. Be prepared, but God's going to get you through. And that would be that.
Wow. I think for myself, I would tell my younger self the things that I know now that I didn't know before, was that you don't have to work hard, just smarter. You'll get it. That's what I would tell myself, my younger self. And I want to hear from our viewers, our co-hosts, our viewers, our supporters. We would like to know your answer. If you could speak to your younger self in one sentence, what would you say? We want to read and we want to hear what you have to say to your younger self.
We do have some people that already responded. Hi, Miss Nancy. She said, hi, bless ladies. Miss Josie said, to my younger self, you are everything.
Ooh.
You are everything. I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Let me try to go back up. I'm trying to see, because they have me in a different spin right now with these comments.
They're going like the newest at the top and then the oldest at the bottom. It's kind of like flipped compared to the other side.
Yes, flipped around on me.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was Josie.
Yes.
You are everything. I love that.
Yep. And Miss Antoinette said, to my younger self, you are enough. You are enough. That. I do.
That's nice. I love that too.
Miss Karen said, to my younger self, you are necessary.
You are necessary.
You are necessary.
Let's talk about that for a second, because Karen Jones Williams, you hit it on the nail. And one of the things you're gonna make me
That was good, right?
That's excellent. I had to come to an understanding that it's not about your parents of who your parents are, who your mother and father are. Because a lot of times we get so consumed with what my mother did, what my father did, and we lose focus on what your purpose was. You were intended and you were necessary to be here.
Mm,
God just used your parents to get you here. And we
right.
can't lose focus on our purpose. And Karen, you hit it on the nail, young lady. I absolutely love that. I love that. You hit it on the nail. And I want everybody to know that you are necessary. Thank
Mhm.
you, Karen. Let's give a hand for Karen, please. Hand for
Absolutely.
Karen.
Well, she's my
That was
friend. She's my
phenomenal.
friend. Hi, Karen.
That was phenomenal. I love that. She hit that on the nose for me.
Miss Rosalind said to my younger self, it's okay to make mistakes because that is how you learn.
Absolutely.
She also said God definitely gives you beauty for ashes.
Mm. Gives you beauty for ashes.
That I
Coming
know.
from a cosmetologist, a hairstylist. That's my
Mm-hmm.
little cousin. Well, my older cousin Roz, but she looks much younger than I do. But yeah, she knows how to take you from looking like I don't know what to a beauty queen. Thank you so much for that comment, cuz.
Miss Nancy said, God loves you no matter how many times you messed up.
Mm,
I love that one.
I do
I
I
too.
love that
love that.
I love
one.
Miss Nancy.
And Karen said, love y'all. Thank you so much,
Oh, we
Karen.
love you
Thank you.
too.
Thank you.
And speaking on what she just stated about God loves you no matter how many times you messed up, 70 times 7, God says forgiveness.
Hmm.
And some people can't even forgive not once.
Not once.
Imagine God forgiving us over and over and over again.
And
Oh,
to expound on that, I made a live the other day, and a lot of times we are stuck in the unforgiving part of we don't forgive ourselves. God forgave us. It's
Yeah.
enthroned in the what does it say? The I don't quote scripture, but you get what I'm saying. It's
yes,
thrown in the abyss. Okay, he ain't think
yes.
about it. He don't bring it up. He don't say, remember what you did last week. We get so consumed within it, and we punish ourselves, and we feel undeserving of his love, undeserving for blessings, for things that we did in our past, and we have to let that go.
Let
We
it
have to pray
go.
on that and forgive ourselves as well.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah. Like ask yourself, like, what are you willing to let go of? Like,
Yeah.
I just think that's so important. Sometimes you don't even ask that question. Like, what am I willing to let go of? Because whatever I can't let go of, I can't move forward.
Right.
Exactly.
I love it. I love
Exactly.
it. And for me, I'm a forgiving heart. I think I'm a little too forgiving sometimes because my family be like, you forget it. I forgive very easily and I just move on. I mean, I can't get myself so tied up into what someone has done. I have to take whatever they've done to me and see what it's going to do for me and
Mhm.
just keep moving. Just keep moving. Because forgiveness is easy. It's just letting go is the hard part.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the hard part is letting go.
Can I say something about forgiveness?
Absolutely.
One of my biggest things that I've learned over the past couple years is what forgiveness looks like behind the action of doing it. And for a long time, I think I've done a lot of therapy. Therapy is really important to me. And I think with my boundaries and all the work that I've done, working on how I say things, it's okay to say it, just how you say it, all those things. Forgiveness, I struggle with like the church and Christianity when in turn of surrounding forgiveness, because to me it always looked like forgiveness equals like weakness, and I always believed in forgiveness. But I think what I would like, or what I would teach if I could, like my younger self or younger women or women behind me that want to learn how to forgive, would be to forgive with boundaries and forgive with actions and forgive with solutions, so that the
Mm,
same things don't happen to you. So yes,
Mhm.
forgiveness is a part of your faith walk, right? Like, who wants to walk around like bitter, or
Yeah.
like holding all these things? Forgiveness also helps you. It's not just for the other person,
Mhm.
but also tied to that forgiveness what your new boundaries are, what your new actions are, like all those things. I think a lot of times we talk about forgiveness all the time, something we're supposed to do, but there's a lot attached to forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times.
Absolutely.
So
And I feel like with forgiveness, you forgave when you no longer feel you have to tell your side of the story. You no longer feel like you have to defend yourself. Well, they told you that. Well, let me tell you what you feel like. I ain't worried about that. Because
let
the
it go.
thing about me is my character speaks for itself. And if you believe what somebody else said, then you don't know me. So I'm not going to entertain what you're saying. But that's, for me, that's how I know when I forgave somebody. When I feel as though that I don't have to tell my side of it. So you can believe whatever you want to believe. Whatever they told you is what they told you. And we're going to move on. And I think that's major when you really don't feel the need to even entertain it anymore.
I like that.
We're talking about forgiveness. I think too, like, I think I've learned over the years, like, what forgiveness looks like for me too. Forgiveness is something that I've had to pray about. You know, I've had to pray for the power of forgiveness because there is times when, like, my heart wouldn't let me do it. And, you know, my mind was saying, yes, you need to forgive, but my heart would not let me do it. And so, you know, the Bible tells you about trusting your heart, you know, because it could be deceitful among all things. So I knew that sometimes for me, forgiveness is like asking God to give me the power to forgive. And once God did that, it was a release for me. Like I felt a sense of freedom and liberty that I didn't have before. And that's how I knew I had forgiven.
Wow. Now I have a question for you ladies and for our viewers. Do you feel as though not forgiving someone blocks your blessing?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it puts a pause on it. It definitely puts a pause on it because you can't move forward with a blessing. Because I feel like God will hold up a blessing because you didn't forgive somebody. He's waiting for you to grow within Him, forgive that person, and move on. Yeah. And sometimes people they don't forgive and they never get to that blessing because they're holding and harboring it in their heart. So I definitely believe that blocks blessings.
Sometimes it can be very hard.
It is it's very hard. It's not easy. Yeah. You're holding yourself hostage. Like you're thinking about it. That usually that person could care less. They ain't even thinking about what happened 2-3 years ago, and you can't wait to tell somebody your side of the story or whatever because you're still stuck on it. Yeah. So I feel as though that like Miss Dena said, it releases you like that. It's just that feeling is just like a weight being lifted off of you.
Yeah.
So,
but it's like the how-to part though.
Yes.
Like,
the steps.
I do a lot of brain health, right? Training. And one of the things I talk about is like the ants, right? So if I'm not forgiving somebody, I'm going to have those ants. Ants are automatic negative thoughts that keep coming up in my mind.
Ants.
Oh, I love that.
Ants. That's not my saying. That's from Dr. Amen, but he talks about the ants, the automatic negative thoughts. So if I'm not forgiving you, every time I hold you somewhere and those automatic negative thoughts come. So if I don't on the ants, right, I cannot forgive. And then that's the thing that blocks your blessing because you're stuck on these thoughts, these automatic negative thoughts, and that you can't think about what you're supposed to be doing. You can't think about where you're supposed to be going because you're constantly in having those ants.
Wow, that's strong. That's strong.
Well,
now that's AIN apostrophe T, not ANT.
ANT, ants, automatic negative thoughts.
Oh, automatic. Okay.
Yeah. Ants, like when you have unwanted ants in your house.
Yes.
You're like, where do these ants come? And they come from everywhere. You want to step on them. Well, it's the same thing happens in your mind. There's these thoughts, automatic negative thoughts that come up, and you have to be able to move them to move forward.
Yes, quickly. Quickly, the sooner the better. Yes. We have some more comments we're going to continue to read, and we know we're running out of time right now. We're going to be cutting this short, but is this podcast pretty good, y'all? I hope y'all enjoying it. We hope y'all enjoying it.
Yes,
if you're enjoying the podcast, please put a heart in the comments. Please put a heart in the comment if this is doing something for you. We would like to know.
I see Miss Nancy put forgiveness can also make you sick. At times
Food
make
can
you
also
sick.
make you sick. Yes, that's so
Yeah.
true.
And I like stress can make you sick, and
Mhm.
and unforget like harboring things on your heart can affect the body.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And whether you realize it or not, the Dottie, I don't know if she's on, but Joey is on, and my mom, that's the friends group that I think I'm in. And that's my mom's friends group that I think I'm in. And then I have my own relationships with them. But they like laugh at me because I do not play when it comes to my self-care. Like
Mm.
it's not even self-care for me. I don't even know how to define self-care because everything is routine for me. Like I don't non-negotiable. And so even if I have to go to a night spa when the kids are asleep, I'm going to get my spa day in this month, right? Like
I love
whatever
that.
whatever it takes. I'm scheduling it out. I'm putting my money aside. Like whatever it takes. Every morning I'm waking up. I'm doing the same skincare routine, and I'm rubbing my body and taking care of myself, the outward, so that my inside knows, right? And so I love Miss Nancy's comment because I've been in a position where harboring things have literally made me sick.
Mm.
I thought I was having a heart attack. Ambulance came, like all like I had to get surgery, like hard,
Really? Wow.
like just harboring weight. Not so much unforgiveness, but like those are the things that your body keeps the score. We know that. So like
Sure.
I love that comment because I've been in a position where harboring something, hurt, pain, maybe unforgiveness, just like not protecting my own heart and putting other people's stuff in, and that has landed me in the hospital
Oh my goodness.
twice. So now
Wow.
I'm like non-negotiable. I don't hear, I don't see until I take care of me. And
I love that.
it looks different, right? Like I have to make it work. Again, I'm a single mom, so I make it work. But I love that comment because I want people to know, like, harboring things in your heart and harboring things in your mind, like the ants, all these things, they will physically make you sick. I'm saying it. I was there. Like, sir, I had my gallbladder removed. I never had gallstone, like none of that. And next thing you know, 24 hours, I'm in the hospital. Like, these are the things, stress, all those things, those
Wow.
that make you sick, and it affects the body. So I just wanted to highlight that because that's such an important comment.
Yeah, now this is subconsciously and consciously because sometimes a person can think they're okay, but subconsciously they're doing more harm than good.
Yeah.
I think that's that survival mode. You've been going at it for so long that you don't even see that it's, I won't say dysfunctional, but it's not doing you. And I know everybody and anybody that's been at the office having to tell my mom, did you eat yet? Did
Yeah.
you eat yet?
Yeah.
Now
Mhm.
she's gotten better. She's
I got
gotten better, much, much
We're
better.
gonna, we're
But
gonna we're gonna stay on her though.
yeah,
yes,
I
but
got much
it's just,
better.
but she's gotten
I'm
much
in the
better. But
date
it took a
mode now,
while.
y'all. Y'all better watch out.
It took
Woo!
a while for her
I'm
to
in the
break
date
that.
mode.
Love it.
Oh, it took a while for her to break that, is what I'm saying. But she didn't look at it as that was her normal.
Mm.
And we have to, and also as Black people, we
Yeah.
normalize a lot of things that are not supposed to be normal. Working 90 hours a week and not sleeping and not eating properly and not exercising and not taking yourself, you're not doing no vacation, not doing, that's not normal. But to the Black household or the Black community, oh, you hustling, you a hustler, you gonna hustle yourself right on into, you got to take care of yourself. But Black people, I want us to
So
make sure we're taking care of ourselves.
that's a
Yeah.
trauma response. Overworking is a trauma response,
Yeah,
and
it's an
so
illness.
it is.
Or learn habits.
But
Yeah.
it also is a trauma response. I know, but it takes time. Like you have to be intentional about it. I know, like
Mm-hmm.
for this weekend, I was like, I knew it was a 4-day weekend, so I had a plan. So I'm in Ocean City, Maryland, right now
Whoa,
because
nice.
so I can look out and see the water because
I
I
love
know
it.
that's part of me taking care of myself. So we called it a family retreat. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
D.
I love it.
I'm sorry you're home, D, but your brother is here. Your brother is here.
she she with her nuclear She with her nuclear family, y'all.
So she has a thing where she's
I
like,
love this time.
that's your nuclear family. And, I was like, oh, he's 10. He's 10.
Oh my goodness, I love this. I love it. And you do need it. This year, I'm definitely going to be more intentional. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to say less and do more because I think me saying it at this point now is like, oh, here she goes. As soon as the clients start calling, she going to forget all about what you just said. So I have to kind of like put the motion to, I have to put it all to action.
Our daughters keep us accountable, though, Regina, because they will make sure they're the ones that see us overworking and overdoing it. And so they care about us and we want to be around for them.
That's true. I do.
That's the part of Momma Said It, but they telling us, like, I'm not doing this,
Right. That's so true.
Absolutely.
So true. They're not going to definitely walk in the footsteps of overworking. The generation nowadays, they're not going for any of those working hard. What? They doing entrepreneur work now, where they working 10, 20 hours on social media, making decent money, and that's their lifestyle.
Right.
Different from where I came from.
Yeah.
Right.
Shantae?
Shantae said, to my younger self, be a good steward of the things God has given you. I like that one.
I like that.
I love you, Shantae. That's my friend.
Oh, that's nice. Even at age 70, I love it.
Even at age 70, that was Miss Dena replying to Shantae. Yep, love you. Miss Barbara said, you needed a community. I never share anything. I don't have to suffer in silence. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a great one.
Yeah, it is. You do not have to suffer in silence. Miss Crystal, I say yes.
I say yes, Crystal. Yes.
Hey, Uncle Mike. Uncle Mike is in here. Good evening.
Yes, Crystal is actually going to be coming on in March. She will be coming on as our guest in March. That's going to be something great for women who are going through alopecia and needing some natural remedies on their hair. She's going to go all into this routine of how you can stop from having hair loss and start your hair to start to grow. So thank you so much, Crystal. Hey, bro. Thanks so much for joining us, Mike.
Yes. Miss Crystal said, my favorite women.
All right. I love it.
You are a favorite too.
Yes, absolutely.
Miss Glenda said, not forgiving takes your peace.
I agree with her.
I agree with that. Yes.
That's so.
I agree with her.
Miss Roslyn said ants, A-N-T-S. I'm gonna remember that. I like that one.
I like that too.
Yes.
My mind was thinking something else.
Miss Josie said, I'm not sure if it blocks blessings, but I do believe it blocks fellowship and blocks our freedom.
Oh, forgiveness.
Wow.
Yes, about forgiveness. She also said it could cause fibroids.
Totally. I believe that.
And we got a lot of hearts. Uncle Mike said forgiveness helps heals one's soul to be able to move forward in life. Miss Karen said, love that you're not just saying it, but being true to your self-care and doing it. I'm still learning that. Yeah, I got to pick up on that, D. We need to, I might need to call you. Because struggle is real, okay?
I will keep you accountable to self-care. I am not playing.
I definitely
love that. I love that intentional. And you know what? Let me just say this to the younger ladies like you and Plum and so many others who are mothers may need to get together as a group and collectively go out to these spas and have these moments and have this open dialogue. It may be a peace offering of showing some sort of support for one another, because oftentimes when we're going through things, sometimes when you don't see someone your same age group that's going through the things that you are going through, it's hard for people to relate. But when they're your same age group, it's something different about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something different about it.
I did a retreat a couple years ago for doulas.
Mm.
And I really want to do another one. I just I'm taking care of me a little bit more, but I really want to host another one. And it was just centered around doulaing the doula. So I took them to, I think it was like Glenda's on the call. She's one of the doulas. And I took them to a spa, and we went off of the organization's budget that I was working for at the time. And
Nice.
it was all like about them. We did like one workshop, but it was just about taking care of yourself. I wish like
I like that idea.
my dream is like I could just spread like how to do self-care, how to do self-care on a budget, how to do self-care as a mom, how to do self-care as a mom with two under two, because I had two under two, how to do it as a toddler mom, like
Yes.
how to do it like I see my mom, how to do it as a grandma with a younger child. I wish I could like just puke self-care on everybody.
Right. And let it spread. Let it spread. Let it spread.
I think
I like that.
especially for one of the things that being in the helping profession for so long, I always felt like helpers need self-care because they're always
Mhm.
pouring out. And when I say helpers, I'm not just talking about, I'm talking about people who serve or serve in leadership. So I've watched people in leadership roles, like just fall apart. You see people burn out all the time. You see compassion
Mhm.
fatigue, or that they call it,
Mm.
vicarious trauma, because they are always doing and giving, working hours, overtime. Even as an entrepreneur, you could be working so much that you forget to eat, or you forget to,
Yes.
yeah. And so like remembering that, because it will impact your body. I know I've experienced, and so like I'm learning patterns, and it's really about changing patterns, changing
Mhm.
Yes,
the patterns. And
yes,
And
it takes,
mindset. Yeah.
everything don't happen overnight. So
No,
it,
it doesn't.
it takes time for change. Change is a process.
It
I
is a
think
process.
I think too, and I'm not going to keep harping on the self-care. I know we're over time, but I think too, it starts like it's an investment, like an initial investment. I'm not just talking about financially.
Yeah.
It may take you to stop like doing the work. Like I had to pull back from my business in order to say, okay, where can I allot the time? Right. And then, okay, now I need to save the money. What is it? It starts in the home. So, like, what does it look like? Do I need to work more over here so that I can hire a nanny? I have a nanny. Shameless plug here. I have a nanny.
That's nice. That's good.
And that's something that, like, Black women, single women, Black families, everybody kind of professional sleep training. My grandparents is like, what are you doing? Like, what is this? I had some white lady come into my house, sleep train my baby so I could sleep at night and get enough sleep to be a good mom the next day.
Yeah.
Wow. I love
These
that.
are these are all investments. Like you have to invest in yourself. That meant like working a couple more hours and saying, hey, this goes to this, right? So now after I plugged in that, now I can go to the gym, or my gym may be $10 or maybe $20, but I invested a little bit over here so that I could do this over here. So like the initial like pullback and restructuring, it starts self-care starts with is taking care of yourself, starts within the home, and then it starts with like creating the habit in the first set of investment.
Mm.
But
I
then I
like
think
that.
that's when you define what success is, because is success doing all these things, or is success take? I think the question is success taking care of your well-being so you can be what you want to be to other people.
Yeah. Yeah. You definitely have to take care of yourself first before other people. I did it the opposite. I took care of everybody else, and I was the
Mhm.
last.
Oh, I don't
So,
want to be nothing.
huh?
I don't want to be nothing.
Right.
You,
But yeah, I'm
you got to
43
know the
too.
season you're in too. I mean, I think that's important. Like you got to know the season.
Yes, you do. I totally agree. I totally agree. You have to. I do have a question for DeYonna, and these we're going to be wrapping this up. DeYonna, my question to you is: For daughters watching who feel lost, unseen, or uncertain about their purpose, especially those raised by single or young mothers, what do you want them to know about their potential and power?
Wow, that's as many layers to that I could answer that to. I think feeling lost and unseen and uncertain is it comes in waves, right? So sometimes I feel lost, sometimes I don't feel seen, and then some days I feel really confident and I feel like everyone sees me. um, and
Mm,
I think the first thing to do is recognize that those emotions and those feelings, those come in waves. Like we just that's a part of being human. Sometimes we're going to feel alone, sometimes we're not going to feel like everyone understands us. But I think the best thing that I've ever done for my life is drawing closer to God.
I love that.
And I am working on myself in many ways, but I think I didn't I've always, I was raised in a church. I've always had, my mom always instilled in me that having a relationship with God is more important than being in church. And once I got old enough to really recognize like what that relationship looks like, I never felt alone again. Like I may feel frustrated when people around me don't understand. But drawing near and closer to God has saved my life.
Wow.
It's
You said saved your life.
saved my friendships, saved what motherhood looks for me. It saved like it preserved my confidence. Everything that I have gone through in the past, even like the past few years, I think like uncertain, unseen, and lost is like that. That was just the last 2, 3 years of my life.
Wow.
And without locking in and being able to like check in and God and talk to him as my friend and make sure that I'm depending and leaning on him, because there's some answers that no one would approve of that I got from him and nobody would understand, right? Or like there's some things that I do that people be like, wait, what? You can't do that.
Wow.
But if I know I didn't get a no from God, and sometimes I get a direct yes, but that has my relationship with the Lord has really kept me sane. It's really kept me seen. I don't care who don't see me, who sees me. I don't care about none of that. I don't care what
Wow.
people think. Um, this is coming from the first person to be, getting a divorce in both sides of my family. This is coming from, thinking I'm breaking generational cycles and then not, and then thinking I'm doing it again. Like there are so many ups and downs and waves of feeling lost and unseen and uncertain. I think me just watching other daughters who feel those things to draw closer to God, because there's no better answers that you will get. It's like
Yeah.
there's no other. My mom gives the best answers, but God got her beat. Like my
I like
girlfriend,
that.
my girlfriends, they are like so T. I love my girlfriends. It's like I have the best girlfriends. And that was the latter part of my answer is I grew up around women who love women. I
Mm,
don't, I
powerful
don't
women.
like the beef.
Yeah.
I grew up with women who love women. It's so funny. I was texting my stepson's mom, Takoya. I love her so much. And we've always had a great relationship. But when I say these types of relationships, unconventional relationships, they come from seeing my mom love on other women and women love on her. So
Yes.
God made us daughters. We all have that in common. We're all daughters. So we should be acting like daughters. This is my sister. We can lean
Yes.
in on him and
I
lean on
love
each
that
other.
part. And you know what? That's what's lacking in sisterhood right now, is because it seems like so many women are pulling on each other and having these negative things to say, when instead, if you have something negative to say, pull them to the side in private. But they want to go to social media and they want to make a big deal out of it. And I love the fact that what you say about women loving on women and supporting other women to let them know you're going to be okay, regardless of what you look like, what you're going through. That voice of reason stating that you're going to be okay. I really absolutely love that.
And potential and power.
Mm-hmm.
Women have all the power. I don't care what it sounds like. I don't care.
Sorry, Ben.
Every day I wake up and I feel like I'm that girl because I am. And that alone, just the belief, like just the belief. We have literally all the power. If you want to make more money, you have the power to make more money.
Yes.
If you want to change the way you look and you want your body we have curves. Men don't have curves. We can literally accentuate our waist. We have so much power.
Yeah.
we can light up the room. We can be soft. We can be hard. We can, like, there's so much to us. We have so many layers that we have the potential to be whatever we want to be, and we have so much power. It's already in us. It's just who we are.
It's already in us. Yeah. Sister Queens, I love it. I love it.
I like that.
Yeah, may this be meaningful to some of us to when you see another woman. And one of the things I do when I go out, I be intentional about when I see another sister, say, you look nice, or giving a compliment. Saying it in your mind, but not being voiceless and saying it out loud can make a difference in a person's day.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely intentional about that. Dena, we have a question for you before we sound off, and this is about legacy, healing, and certification. Dena, after years of training with the state of New Jersey staff, you stepped into entrepreneurship as the author of Naked and a trauma-informed ART life coaching certifier. Why was it important to now empower women to heal themselves and heal others?
I worked in child welfare for over 25 years, and I worked in different capacities where I know the power. DeYonna talked about women, but I also understand the power of family, and I understand what happens when women heal. When they heal their own. When a woman heals, the whole community heals. Also, just growing up in church and like leadership is important. I love working with leaders because I don't just train coaches, I train leaders. So I train leaders from faith-based communities. I train with New Jersey Child Welfare Partnership with Rutgers and Stockton. And one of the things that I saw was this need, like I said, with people who are working with others. It's like have a trauma-informed lens, and how you see people is how you treat them, and that's how you are with them. And so if you want your organization to grow, and if you want your communities to grow, and you want your churches to grow, you have to see people with a lens that has compassion. Because in my book, Naked, I talk about like I am her and she is me. But when I see people, I'm like, who's in the mirror? And that could be me. That could be you. Like, because I had this idea of growing and wanting to be what God called me to be, it was somebody seeing me. It was Miss Franklin saying, you know what? You're going to take the lead role. You're going to take the lead role in this play. And you're going to, and I was shy. And she was like, you're going to do it. But she saw something in me. She said, I don't want you being in the background. So it was that woman who said, I don't want you to be in the background. I want you to take the lead. She saw something in me that I couldn't see in myself. So trauma-informed, being trauma-informed is understanding that generation of the history, the trauma, all of that matters, and it all means something, and that God can do something with all of it. He can do something with all the mishaps that we've had. He's a healer. And so there's a science behind it. And I believe that teaching that to others so that they can teach it to their communities and then teach it to their families will heal our generation.
I love that. Now, before we start to show your websites and what you're doing and things of that nature, This is going to be the last question, but we just want this to be a question that our supporters, our co-hosts, put in the chat and we can read it later. And that is, what is one lesson you learned from your mother, or you wish you had learned, that shaped who you are today? What is one lesson you learned from your mother, or wish you had learned, that shaped who you are today? Okay. Now, as we move forward, I want to talk about some of the things that both of you ladies are doing. Let's start with DeYonna. Some of the things that you are doing right now, DeYonna, that people can follow you on. And I know that I was sharing your Instagram and I believe your Facebook, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, as to how people can follow you across social media platforms.
Can I just say something?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm not doing anything, Miss Regina.
You're not doing anything?
I'm not doing nothing.
That's not true.
I'm doing a lot, but I want to say before you share the things that you're saying, I have really pulled back from doing a lot of things to give myself these next couple of years to just maintain my self-care. So
Okay.
a lot of the things that I do, a 9 to 5 and the advocacy work and the things that you're sharing, I just want to be mindful here in this space that I am really able to connect to resources and make sure people know, where to find things and how to connect to some of the things that I'm doing as far as partnerships with others that I may know. But right now, especially this year, I'm really taking a lot of time to myself.
Okay.
To just really be present with my babies and myself.
I love that. And you know what? I'm gonna say this. Sometimes in life, I remember when it was trying to remember Taji B. Henson. She had a moment when she collectively said on so many different social media platforms that she knew when it was time for her to go on a vacation and she needed a moment to heal. And she went away for almost a few months where she wasn't heard from. Her family, her immediate family knew where she was, but she wanted to have a mental check-in to cleanse her mental and her inner self, her inner ability, her inner strength. Because sometimes we need to know when it's time to say, wait, I need to pull back from giving so much of myself because my cup is overflowing, but I'm not even being the one that's reciprocated or getting any of the benefits out of it, everyone else's benefit. And I'm draining right now. So I appreciate you sharing that and knowing when it's time to say, hey, wait, I just need these 30 days or a month or a year to take a break. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm still Beloved Life Services. I'm still connecting doulas and helping. Right now, I'm nationally training. I'm also training in Ghana right now for my organization. So I'm a trainer of trainers. I train doulas, doula trainers to be trainers. So doulas who are already certified, and then they will become trainers. So right now we're training in Ghana. So that's really big for me right now.
Nice.
But that's 9 to 5, and I'm not in the hospitals with any babies right now. I know plenty of powerful doulas. If anyone wants to be linked and needs a doula and any advocacy support. And I also am very active in the HIV community and infectious disease, STI prevention. So I am more than happy to always connect, but just, putting it out there that right now I'm not doing the outside work that I usually do. Thank you, Shantae.
Absolutely. Now, for those who want to you and saying that they want to be connected so that they can at least, you can connect them to an active doula, would they go to your website?
Yes, if you need a doula or if you're interested in becoming a doula, You can always reach out to me. I have all the avenues. And you can go to my website. You can email me directly. There's plenty of avenues to email me there. Um, and also, if you're interested in HIV work and prevention work, I also have spaces where you can, if grow in that as well. So I'm always willing and able and excited to connect people.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, we appreciate that. And we did share her website for the doula. We shared the website for the doula for those who are interested in reaching out to her. You can contact her directly on her website. There is a contact information. You fill that out, and she will respond accordingly. She will respond accordingly, and you can also follow her on all of the social media platforms that we're sharing with you. You can follow her, DeYonna, on Facebook and on Instagram. Okay. Now, Dena, for
Mhm.
yourself, I know that you have a website and you're
Mhm.
doing training, and those who are looking to be certified. Why don't you talk a little bit about the your website for training and also for your nonprofit organization as well?
Sure. Before I do that, I just want to say, Mama said it because since that's the topic, Deanna can be very humble. When she says she's not doing it, she's doing so much. She's just work looks different for her right now with the two babies. But she said,
Yes.
I'm not doing anything, but I am going to Africa and train. So I don't know what that sounds. If that don't sound like she doing something,
Sounds like
and
a
I
little work to me,
it
but in
sounds
her
like
own way.
yes, and I think so I'm like, listen here, like Deanna, that is not true. She's doing a lot of work in those areas with, the doula. She ran my nonprofit, just pulled back. She was running the whole entire nonprofit. She
Wow, nice.
Yes, she was the executive director for the nonprofit. I lost her, and that was sad because of the work that she's doing. I lost her, but she still does some project management for us because it's volunteer based. But yeah, so
Nice. I love it.
yeah.
I love it. I love it.
But as far as the art of training and development, I like to just say this is a hub where people can come and we don't just we train coaches that to become trauma informed in whatever discipline area that they're in. But we train leaders, expanding leadership who work with vulnerable communities. We say become a work of art, which is activate right thinking. But there's also professional development classes. All of our classes I'm certified to teach. Like I do DISC training, behavior analysis. I'm getting ready to do a big brain health training. But this is like my full-time work. Everything I do is under art of training development. And now the goal is to expand the team because I can't do everything. So we have facilitators. Joey was on here. She was one of the facilitators for the training. Um, we have actually 3 facilitators. We do a coaching call every month where we've graduated over 100 students.
Nice.
Mhm.
Woo.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
and they're
Awesome.
all over the different states. And so, as far as we have some in Buffalo, Atlanta that have graduated, we had our first in-person graduation this summer. So, and these are some of the classes. If any organization wanted to go on our website, they can learn about some of these classes that are listed here, the training classes that we're offered to teach, and we've been training. And it's a lot of work, but it's good work.
It's good work. I love that. I
Uh-huh.
love that.
Uh-huh.
Now, I definitely want to mention about your book.
Uh-huh.
For those who are interested in
Uh-huh.
buying Dina's book, she has
Uh-huh.
several books on her website.
Uh-huh. So a lot of so I like to mention everything. I'm an author and artist. So the cover is something that I painted and then it became the cover of the book. And so the idea is that the book would be a companion to anyone who wanted to understand who they are at the core of and where they want to go next. And so Naked is about stripping to the core, kind of piggybacking off of Deanna, like needing less to be more. So it's not about gaining more, it's about stripping off those labels that you put on yourself and labels that other people have maybe put on you. The artwork you see, that everything is drawn by hand or painted. So you can see that
I
on
love
the
it.
pillow, and so we try to bring art and creativity in everything that we do. I think that's what sets us apart, is because that's one of the groups. Actually, DeYonna started the first naked group. We take women through a 40-day journey every year.
I
So that
love
was
that.
the group right there, where she started the groups and she did it until she became a married woman and then got pregnant. And she said, "Here, mom, you got to take over and I had to become the voice of my own book." So she's a trailblazer in her own
Nice.
right, and has been really helping launch a lot of the things that you see on Art of Training Development and the nonprofit.
I love that. I love that. I love that. And
Yeah.
speaking of your nonprofit,
Mhm.
Anime Sunflower Seeds,
Mhm.
you want to give a little insight on how that
So
name was
anime
created?
came from my grandmother who had 17 children. God rest her soul. She had
Ooh-wee.
17 children, same mom and dad. I'm one of 67 grands, last count, and DeYonna's one of 76 great grands.
Ooh,
And we started this because we believe in legacy, and my family has been a great part of keeping this together. Like my cousins, they have sold seeds, and we try to keep this legacy open, where those doula services that DeYonna talked about, you could actually get them through anime. We have parent groups. I know you mentioned something about parent groups earlier. We had our first parent group last year. Our office was in Burlington, and we've scaled to a different model. We have a mobile model now, where
nice.
we actually go out to the families that are need. We have three programs. We have the honeybees. Honeybees are the teenagers. We had them come every week. We have the queen bees. Those are the moms, and it's not about any deficit. It's about like a mom who just needs support. Any mom can be a part of this group. And then we had the bumblebees. The bumblebees are the babies. And so DeYonna did a really good job. That's why I said she's been humble, but she did a really good job in helping start some of these programs. I started the honeybees. She started the queen bees and the bumblebees, where mommies read together. We do makeovers for moms.
Nice. I love that.
And so, like I said, it's a mobile model. And our volunteers are what if without the volunteers, this would not exist. It's the volunteers that really keep anime going. They meet every Friday, and we find out what the needs are, and then we meet the family's needs. We provide diapers, Pampers, clothes. Moms may be going back to work, so yeah, it's a lot of work, and it can't be done alone. This is where the generations help each other, and women come together collectively.
I love that. I love that. And you were
Always
talking about
accepting volunteers.
30
Always
years
accept
ago.
the volunteers.
Huh?
We're always accepting volunteers to help us move this work. This is not this is not a Dena thing or a DeYonna thing. This is a where we
Community.
really want to see women connect and help all other women and heal their families. And families include, their spouses or partners as well.
I love that. I love that. And for those of you who are on this live, let me say this. If you can donate anything, any amount, there's never an amount too small, and there's certainly not an amount too big. You can go to animesunflowerseeds.org, and the sun is spelled SON, flowerseed.org, and you can donate. Please, let's continue to support Dena and DeYonna in their journey, because this is not just helping them, as she stated, it's helping a whole community,
Yeah.
helping a whole community. And I can say this for myself, that Dena and her daughter in the nonprofit organization, they give away clothes and shoes and all kinds of things for free.
Yeah.
For free, not like Goodwill, because
Everything
Goodwill,
is
you
free.
go up and then you're going to pay
Everything
$2 for a
free.
shirt. Huh?
Yes,
Everything is free.
and I have to say, and I had to mention this, I know we're at the end, but like I know I said it wouldn't be able to happen without the volunteers, but also it wouldn't happen without my husband, who has been one of the best. He's one of the great
Woo!
members.
Dr. Jason.
Yeah, he's a great. DeYonna could attest that, like, he really is behind the scenes a lot, making sure that these things happen. With the, and he's on the board as well. And my dad is on the board, so the men step in and they're really, backing us women up. And I think that's necessary to say, and it's
It
important.
is necessary. I definitely agree with you on that. It takes a village.
Yes,
It takes a village of a variety of different people in different backgrounds to come together collectively to make a difference in our lives. We want to say thank you so much for being a part of Mama Said It Podcast. We did go over, y'all. It turned into a 2. And I was saying to myself, now I know this ain't going to be an hour. DeYonna and Dena, oh no. And us speaking together, child, we doing good.
wait till we get them crabs. Wait till we get together and get them crabs.
Listen, we could do a live in
A live crab, yeah.
and do the live together.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yes, that would be a nice collaboration. I would love to see that happen. But in ending, I want to ask DeYonna, any last words you would like to say to the viewers?
Well, I'm just grateful for the support. My mom and I, and specifically to our viewers, like here today, we have had just a lot of love and support. My mom talked about the volunteers, but through our lives, like my mom has a lot of people that she's been able to bring into my life, and then vice versa. Like I have the best support system in my friends. So I'm just thankful for this platform and having to integrate in our people over here so that they can see the light that you all are spreading
Thank
on the
you.
platform that you have. And so I'm grateful to everybody who supports us.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. And Dena, do you have any last words that you would like to, wisdom you would like to lay on everyone? I know you have something good.
Well, I say this all the time, but and I stole it from John Maxwell, but he says everyone communicates, few people connect. And so I think that you and Shakira have you guys lit up my weekend. Just like allowing us to connect with you guys.
Oh,
So special, so meaningful. And I truly love you guys.
oh, we love you too. Absolutely.
And there have been many people that have gone before me that have been a part of my life, like DeYonna said, the women that have nurtured me, that have loved me. Too many here to name. Regina, you've been one of those people. And so with that being said, I am too grateful for the many people in my lives that have continued to pour out on me and DeYonna.
Yes.
Every season of our lives, God has really set us up with great people in different phases of our lives. So I'm grateful for that and really thankful to God because none of this would happen. None of this would happen. None of this would happen without him.
Without him. I love that. I love that. We thank you, ladies, too, for taking out the time and accepting our invite and saying yes to our invite. We really appreciate you sharing knowledge and enlightening us on things we did not know and the takeaways that we can take from this date moving forward in our everyday lives. Shakira, would you like to have the last words?
Yeah, sure. I would just like to encourage anybody, no matter what you're doing, let God lead you to who needs you. Don't worry about who's not following you, who's not showing up. God will lead you to who needs you every single time. He does not
I
fail.
love that.
Amen to that.
I love that. Yes.
Yeah, I told her she got to put that on t-shirts.
I'm gonna put that on a shirt. Let
Yes.
God lead you to who
You
needs
heard it here first, and I'm a
Yeah,
body.
she's been saying that a long time.
Yes.
I want that on a shirt.
I want a shirt. So get it, and I'm purchasing. I want to be the first one to purchase with Kira.
Oh, and see that? Woo!
Got it.
Listen, we're gonna make them shirts up tonight.
I sure am.
Yes.
She gonna make those shirts up tonight. Trust
Oh,
me.
we will sell them. We will sell them for you. So
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
I
do a
appreciate it.
collaboration together to
Yes.
donate some of the proceeds to your
Oh, that would be
Absolutely.
nonprofit.
so nice.
And I'm speaking that into existence because I know that's where my daughter's heart is.
Yes, it is.
That's what my daughter's heart is. Now, I just want to say in closing, do something different today that you didn't do yesterday to change your tomorrow. I want to say thank everyone so much for tuning in to another episode of Momma Said It Podcast. We will be faithfully here, God's willing. I always say God's willing because you never know it's God's purpose. You may have a plan, but God have a bigger plan. We will be here with you next week at the same time, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, January 25th. Please mark your calendar. But before we go, I've written this song and I want to share it with you, and it's pertaining to mothers.
Mm.
Mama said, baby, storms gon' roll in heavy. Rain don't mean forever, it's just temporary. She held my hand, said keep your feet steady. Tears fell like rivers, but her words stayed ready. Under gray skies, her voice, the sun in my chest. No map for the journey, but her love knew to rest. She said, lift your head when the winds hiss. Pray, child, pray, cause it'll be days like this. Mama said, there'll be days like this. Keep your faith, don't let the light slip. Fall to your knees, let the weight lift. Mama said, there'll be days like this. She sang hymns in the kitchen, soul on repeat. Her apron, my shield, her voice, my heartbeat. Taught me how to stand tall, how to take heat. Life through the punches. She said, baby, don't retreat. She preached grace like roots that dig deep. Told me when you sow love, the harvest runs sweet. Lift your voice when the dark tries to twist. Pray, child, pray, cause it'll be days like this. Mama said there'll be days like this. Keep your faith, don't let the light slip. Fall to your knees, let the weight lift. Mama said there'll be days like this.
She's adorable. Woo! Thank y'all so much for joining us. Y'all make sure y'all have a fantastic week coming up. May God bless each and every one of you. Stay safe and don't forget to say prayers. Take care, everybody.
Thank you, Mommy.
Oh, adorable, just adorable, just adorable.
Look it.
My grandsons.
Oh, look at them.
Oh my goodness. Thank y'all so much for joining us. Till next time, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Say bye.